Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrie Jane, and today we're going to be doing a requested video submitted by Erica. So hi Erica, thank you so much for submitting your question. I've been very excited to answer your question and make this video. I think it will benefit a lot of people. And I'm going to do the best to answer your question in a way that is most helpful to you. And if anything that I suggest doesn't really feel right, or you have further questions on what I said, please feel free to comment below or contact me directly, whichever you're most comfortable with. And, let me know what your thoughts are. So the first part of this video will be me answering your specific question, Erica, but I am going to title the video Crystals for the Workplace or something like that. And so I'm also, after I finish that question, going to go into some other possibilities that either you, Erica, or other people might face in the workplace and what crystals are good for that. Because everyone's work environment differs and varies person to person, and so I just want to make some extra suggestions in addition to that. So kick back and relax and enjoy. So I'm just going to start off with reading your question because I wrote it down. Erica would like to know what crystals can keep the area clear so that you and others are cheerful and focused to reduce stress. First thing I'm going to talk about is what to use, or what I recommend, to keep your space clear. My favorite crystal for this is selenite. Now, selenite appeared in one of my videos, my top 5 favorite crystal videos. And it is actually my #1 favorite crystal. It could change, but it has been for years. And it will appear again when I go into crystals for protection. Now, in the last video that I did, or my top 5 favorite crystal videos, I had my tower, my crystal selenite tower. I don't have that today, but I do have these wands, which are very shiny. Selenite comes in many different shapes and forms. This is one of them. However, they also come in these little bars, or pads. I don't know what the right word is for them. But these are actually made to put your crystals on top of them to keep them charged and clear, which is a bit of a side note. That's not the topic of this video, but in case you didn't know, that's another use for these. But this stone is extremely powerful for me. Everyone's different. Everyone has their power stone. For me, this is mine. It might not be yours, but this is my suggestion, and I really do think that there is something extremely powerful about this crystal. And, hence why I use it for protection. Especially when it comes to clearing your space. Because when you have selenite, when you have a selenite tower, when you have these wands or what have you, in your living environment or in your workplace, for example, you are setting the intention to welcome positive things. You are setting the intention to welcome light into your space. Another name for selenite is liquid light, and it completely lives up to this title. It is divine. I have a very hard time trying to communicate my relationship with crystals. I've been working on it. I think that's half of the reason why I don't have many crystal videos on my channel, because I deep down really want to convey what I feel, or how I use these, or why I use these. But it's tricky because my relationship with them is not necessarily understood in an intellectual way that is easy to verbalize. So I'm doing the best I can. But yeah, just right off the bat, keeping your space clear. We're not even into like keeping it cheerful and focused yet. I recommend selenite. Now, I use a very specific crystal to help keep myself focused in my own workspace. So I'm going to recommend that to you. However, I have another follow-up recommendation in case this doesn't work out for you. Now, the crystal that I use to help keep myself focused is sodalite. This is a really big chunk. The shape of it, to me, I mentioned in a previous video, kind of feels like a game pad. It looks like, I don't know, a controller, like a Xbox or PlayStation controller to me. I know that's weird, but the shape does have importance as well. It's not just the kind of crystals that you're going to be working with. It's the shape. It's the shape that's going to matter a lot as well. And we're going to talk about that a lot throughout the video. So I use this crystal when I have a tough nut to crack. When I am having writer's block, or if I have to write an email, I'm not sure how to word yet. It could be a professional email, like, you know, maybe a job interview type of email, or a client that you have, and it's a situation that requires very careful consideration. This crystal is really good to have in your workspace. It keeps me focused. That's one of my suggestions. Now, something to bring light or cheer into the space. I like to use orange calcite. Orange calcite is associated with our lower chakras, so like think sacral chakra or solar plexus chakra, in that area. It has to do with our passion. It has to do with our creativity. And so depending on what work environment you have, this will be extremely useful, because not only do we want to be very focused and rooted, but we want to be cheerful, as you put it. You know, we want to have a passion about the work that we're doing. And so this has helped me in my work a lot as well, to keep this passion going and to keep my creativity going despite whatever may come up. This here, I don't know if my camera will catch the features of it. Ooh, that's actually very good. Okay, I'm gonna hold it up there closer from now on, because it looks like it might just focus. It's really confused because my head is in the background. Honestly, all calcites are really good for so many different things. But in my workplace, I like orange calcite. Now, these crystals are kind of dense, and I don't know exactly what situations you face in your circumstance, Erica, but if you're working with a broad client base and you have, for example, like lots of people coming in there, you might not want something that is so dense. Like, this is like a legit rock. People also want, you know, nice decor, so to speak, sometimes. Something that everyone will kind of like when they walk in. And I get that. So my, I guess, fourth now recommendation is a crystal that has many uses. This crystal can help you stay focused, can help keep the energies light in a good mood, and it's beautiful. And that is fluorite. And you've probably heard of it because it's a very popular stone. Now, I have octahedral fluorite because for whatever reason I can't connect with any other kind of fluorite. That is very strange. I don't think other people have that problem. Everyone that I've come to contact with actually loves fluorite, especially like the towers, which would be very good for you. They're also called generators. They're basically like the obelisks, essentially. And they have many different shades. Fluorites can be anywhere from like bright green to like blue green and then purple. And if I were you and you really like fluorite and you want to incorporate that into your space, I recommend getting one that has all these hues, that goes from like green to purple, because my hypothesis is that that is what gives it this multi-purpose kind of energy to it, where it can also promote focus as well as clearing the space and staying in a positive mind frame to move forward. And I'm going to show you my fluorite specimens. This one is both green and purple. It might be hard to see both in the lighting and the camera. And yeah, as I said, for whatever reason, like every time I go to the store, I genuinely want an obelisk or a generator or a tower. But I can't connect with them. I can only connect with these octahedrals. And don't ask me why. These are just green. These are just pure, like, light blue, green, little ones. Octahedrals. There you go. And then these guys. Fluorite is very beautiful, and that's one of the reasons why it's a very popular stone, and it might be a big hit if you have a lot of people coming into your office. Come back to me, camera. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, alright, so that's that. So moving on, what if you have the kind of office that needs to create a therapeutic space? You might actually be a therapist and people come into your office for counsel. Or you may be, I don't know, doing clerical work for situations that are very stressful. Or perhaps you just want that for yourself. Perhaps you just want a very peaceful environment, which Erica, may be you, it may not be you, I don't know. But nonetheless, I'm going to, for that, recommend the crystal everyone knows, and that's amethyst. And I particularly recommend an amethyst cluster. Not just the loose stones or whatever shape you find it in, but a cluster. Clusters are extremely interesting because they're still connected to their source, as I talked about in my how to use crystals to understand source video. And they don't really need to be cleared as much. I think they benefit from bathing in the moonlight sometimes. Be careful not to put this where it's in direct sunlight because it will fade. I think they benefit from, you know, being on selenite and stuff like that, but they generally don't need to be cleared. And so it's just this constant emanation of peace that you get to have in your workspace. So that's why I recommend amethyst, or an amethyst cluster, I should say. Erica, I think you're going to like this next recommendation that I have, because there are also many uses for this crystal, and it's very pretty. Unfortunately, I only have these little tumbled pieces, but I recommend getting a bigger piece that is an obelisk, or something like an obelisk or a generator. And this crystal that I'm going to be talking about is rutilated quartz. And rutilated quartz is just regular quartz with these inclusions, or like these beautiful threads of gold. And I really hope my camera captures it because it's so small, but it's so beautiful. And so you can find them like very clear, like this, or it's white. And that's my favorite one. It's like white quartz, and mixed in is this rutilated quartz. Not only will this bring so much light and happiness and like divinity into your space, but it's extremely useful when you're on a spiritual journey, which, Erica, I got a sense from you when we were exchanging I guess pleasantries or whatever we were talking about in the comments. That's what I got from you. So I think that this also would kind of be a good crystal in your life. So maybe if you find something, put it in your workspace or your office, but also wear it. When I first started embarking on like a serious endeavor in my spiritual journey, I got a necklace with rutilated quartz, and it really helped me live in my path. And I'm very stubbornly waiting for this to focus because it's just too beautiful to not. I have some other crystals, maybe it'll focus on that. You can kind of see it, but it's just so much better when it focuses. Hold on. Let's try this one. Okay. Yeah, so this is rutilated quartz. Oh, yes, it did it. Excellent. I once found some tourmalated quartz on the beach, and I was so excited. Which is basically like this, but just with tourmaline instead of these gold threads, it's black threads. Okay. Here we go. And like I said, I really wish I had a bigger piece. I'm still looking. I have a little bit of a shopping list, and they come to me when they come to me. Okay, so, and then I forgot to mention this before, but going further with keeping your space peaceful, no matter where you are, put a piece of rose quartz in it. It should be in your bedroom. Maybe don't put it in the kitchen. Maybe put like other stuff in your kitchen. Put it in your living room, in your car if you really like it. But I feel like wherever you should be, there should be some rose quartz, because this promotes unconditional love. And what does that not benefit? You know, is my point. It's very simple. So get some rose quartz, Erica. Which you probably already have, or might be thinking about getting, because it's so popular. So what happens when you're in a workspace and you have a lot of computers, and you're very sensitive to EMF radiation? Also, I'm really sorry for the cricket in the background. They have completely infested my house, and I don't know what to do. That's another story, but yeah. I'm sorry about the cricket noise. But yeah, what if you have a lot of computers? What if you have a lot of technology in your workspace? You don't like the way that this feels? Get some black tourmaline. Get a nice big chunk of it. Keep it by your computer. It helps absorb this negative energy as well as deflect it in some cases. In my opinion, hematite absorbs. Sorry. In my opinion, hematite absorbs the energy, whereas this kind of like protects you from it. It doesn't necessarily take it in. Honestly, it's really good to have hematite on you at any time. But if you're in a work environment, and in particular you're worried about EMF radiation, black tourmaline and hematite are my recommendations. Last but not least, what if you want to bring abundance into your workspace? You want to attract good experiences. You want to attract good colleagues, good friends, and money. I recommend green aventurine. And this will also bring peace into your space too. A lot of people use it primarily for just trying to attract money. I think what it does first is attract healthy relationships, attract a feeling better about yourself, about your life. It's a heart healing stone. And then sometimes that means attracting money in your life because you're in a better place mentally and emotionally. So that's how I see this as a mechanism for green aventurine. I have other pieces, but this is my favorite, I guess, specimen is this bracelet that I have, which is like these hearts. And green aventurine is extremely calming. Everyone will love it when they come into your space. I get compliments on this bracelet all the time. So if you're thinking about abundance and heart healing, you want to create that kind of environment, green aventurine is my recommendation. I basically went through everything. If you hear this video or you watch this video and something else comes to mind and it's like, well, what if I want to attract this kind of situation? Or, you know, what if I'm feeling like this right now and so I want to bring this into my space? Comments below. And if it's a short answer, I'll answer it in the comments. But also know that no matter what crystal that you decide to put in your space, put it with clear quartz, because clear quartz amplifies energies. It will make whatever you decided to put, stronger. And so this is one of my favorites because of the shape. And so I love keeping this on my dresser. When I crack open a new deck, I put this guy next to it or on top of it. Just have clear quartz in your space. And it also promotes clarity. So if you're like having a stressful day and you feel like kind of cluttered in your head and your heart, I like clear quartz. I find it helps me get to a space of clarity. So that's that. So before I wrap up this video entirely, I want to say that when you go to a crystal shop with an intention, it's not always the best to have a very strict shopping list. The best thing that you can do is go in with an open mind, an open heart, see what you're drawn to, and then get that and keep that in your workspace. And for you, Erica, it might be any of these that I listed. You might get like caught up on something and you can't let it go, and that's a sign that you need it, but you might not. And in this case, just walk into a store with an open heart, one that you like and that feels good to you, and look at each stone, not just with, you know, your head, but with your heart. See if it's something that you like, and the way that you know that it's something that you're meant to have is when you pick it up and you're carrying it to the register and you're really excited. What I like to do is once I get, attached to a stone, I don't just like immediately decide I want to get it. I pick it up, I walk around the store with it while I'm looking at other stuff. And sometimes by the time I'm done walking around the store, I don't want it anymore. But sometimes it's just like, I can't put it down and I know I have to leave with that stone. So if you encounter that when you go shopping for your crystals, get that stone and put it where you want it, because that's the stone that you're meant to have. And that is probably the best piece of advice in this entire video. You know, I really like enjoying sharing what I like to use, but I know at the end of the day, everyone here is going to like using something else. And I think that is for a good reason. It's not so black and white, and we don't really understand how these things work. So thank you so much for watching, Erica and everyone. And thank you again, Erica, for submitting your question. If you have a question about crystals or any other topic that you see in my playlists, please mention it. Contact me or comment below. And if I feel like it's something that I could contribute to in a positive way, something that I would be useful in, I would be more than happy to make a video for you. So keep that in mind. Also, like this video, share it, subscribe to my channel. Check out all of my playlists. Sometimes I talk about crystals. I go on long series with numerology because that is what I specialize in. But I also talk about, certain philosophical topics in my reflections playlist. And I think I am done. I think I went over everything. So again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that this was useful to you, and have a lovely rest of your day.